We are live.
We are live.
Hi, Debbie O'Brien.
Good morning, Rachel O'Brien. How are you today?
Oh, I better turn off all my notifications. I
Oh,
am great. I
oh
am
yes,
great.
me too.
Yeah, otherwise people would be hearing ching, bing,
All those little channels going mad.
Exactly. Today we are going to have a little conversation about what are we going to talk about,
I
Debbie
am
O'Brien?
going to interview you.
Oh, you are?
I am. Did you know that?
I don't know.
So I'm going to tell a little story, not a big story, just a little story. And because I told everyone on your Facebook page and on Receiving Rachel O'Brien that we've got exciting news. And I was so privileged to be there on Monday with my friend when we got the news and when we made the decision. And would you like to tell us? So first I'm going to say that, wow, I am so grateful that yesterday I found a post of 2 years ago when I did my first foundation with you. And ever since then, I've done energy pulls, I've done classes. October last year, I said, that's the lady I'm going to work with. And now we've had 3 months in lockdown together, doing our little wiki wacky thing, working, creating, building. And now we are building a business together. And you are just one of my best, favorite, amazing friends in the whole world. Have given me something in my life that I never, ever, ever believed was possible. And so it was such a privilege to be there on Monday. I can't guarantee I'm not going to cry in this, but I was there on Monday when we made this decision. And just watching you, and it was such a privilege to know how much this means to you and how much I know that this is going to create in our futures, in the world's futures, in everyone's future. So would you like to unveil the news? It sneaked out on Facebook in a few places, so
It
people
did.
will
It did.
know. People will
But
know. But
yeah.
maybe I would like you to tell us the news because it's so
So,
cool.
so on Monday night, with my friend Debbie O'Brien sitting next to me, I became an Access Xmen Facilitator. Yay! So, so I'm going to tell a little story, and I really hope this contributes to everyone watching. Hey, Jenny, and I may cry up about it because it's brought up a lot of old stuff for me, particularly in my past. So when I was 7 years of age, I loved Jesus. I was brought up Catholic, and for whatever reason, Jesus was this energy for me that I could go to and talk to. That's the only way that I could explain it. And I went into church and I said, "Okay, please, Jesus, can you please help me?" On my knees, and I'd climb into the church. We could come in a side door, but I didn't like coming in the side door, so I'd come in the big front door because of the big doors, and that meant something to me. So I'd walk in, hey Jose, I'd walk in, listen up, this is a beautiful story. I'd walk in and I'd sit down on the pew I'd like to sit on was the second, and I'd look down and I'd look at Jesus there and the kindness in his eyes, because the kindness in his eyes was something that appealed to me. And I would say, hey Jesus, can you please make me different? I don't seem to fit in this world. I think there is something radically wrong with me, very, very radically wrong with me. Everybody tells me I'm too sensitive. Everybody, dismisses. It's like I'm a burden or a problem. And I always felt that I was like a burden to my mom, even though that wasn't true. She had her own stuff playing out. So I would talk to Jesus and I would say, please make me different. I don't belong here. I don't belong in this world. I don't belong with my family. They're like aliens to me. And I'd watch them all walking around and living their lives. And I was like outside looking in. And then I was like, are these even my family? And what I got to was every place you think you're wrong, you're strong. I didn't understand I didn't understand how people lived. I didn't understand. I grew up with a lot of drama. There was always problems in the house. There was always, everywhere I lived, there was always problems. Me and my little sister moved into our little house together when I was 8 and she was 7. And we lived in a rough area where our house was always broken into and we were stolen. So for me, I just couldn't comprehend this world on any level. I just couldn't get it. And I thought that it was me, that I was too sensitive. If I toughened up a little bit, Debs, if I got a little bit like stronger, and people would always say, you're too sensitive, you're too sensitive, you're too sensitive. And actually, that wasn't true at all. I had a massive sense of awareness, and I was so aware of what was going on in people's heads, their thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and emotions, and that I had mistaken all of that awareness as me. And I got lost for 40 years. And, you know, I actually got lost in 40 years in other people's realities because I didn't know what my reality was. Yeah, so this was huge for me. And then I came to Access, and I recognized that some people have abilities and capacities to download people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and we have a natural capacity to heal them by our very presence. And that's when things started to change for me, when I recognized, and write this down, everything, you cannot feel what you are, you can only feel what you're not. And Gary Douglas said this in a class called Xmen. You cannot feel what you are, you can only feel what you're not. So all the density and all the heaviness, Jesus steps, I didn't know how to deal with it. Yeah. I genuinely did not know how to deal with it, and I didn't know how to manage it. And then came along the tools of Access, and every place that I thought I was wrong or fucked up was where I had a strength, a capacity, and ability.
And Rach, you know what you showed me so much in that time we had together is how you showed me that I live with 3 Xmen, that I have some Xmen capacities, and you showed me how you being aware of that space and me being aware of the space, reading the book, can't teach a fish to climb a tree, how that changes your awareness and your ability to deal with other people. And you did it in the kindest, most amazing way, that information, and that's why I'm so excited, although I'm so teary, but I'm so excited because I just know, and I've seen in all the facilitation you're doing, that the kindness you have, and you have this ability to unlock that in people. You have the ability to be in a class, to be facilitating, but you unlock things in such a kind way. I've never met a person who is able to have no point of view around how anybody is towards you and go forwards and have no judgment, no blame, shame, regret, guilt, nothing, and still move on. I just want to like chop their heads off with their heads. I'm like, how can they do that to you? How can they do that to us? How can they do? And you are just a space of being an allowance that I've yet to experience anywhere else. And I just know that Access has those people, but that gift of what you are going to bring and share to people now, just makes me want to howl more and more. But I am so super excited about what we can bring and what you will share and what this will create for the world. I just know it just feels like in 1 week, like a whole business has just completely expanded and is just creating something new for so many people. I absolutely do.
You know, the amount of people that I work with that are the most, I would say they are superheroes that are misunderstood. Yeah. That's the tagline that I'm going to use for the Xmen creation, is that superheroes misunderstood. And that came from a very good friend of mine in Cork, Alan O'Hurley, who I adore. Another Xmen creating magic all over the world. So this superheroes misunderstood is that your sensitivity is a capacity. Our sensitivity we've judged as a curse, not a gift. And I see these most amazing people that have decided that they're fucked up in some way, and they have a brilliance for healing. They know something different about the world. They know our world. For me, one of my superpowers is that no judgment, you know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. having allowance of people, how they live their lives, you know. And the only time that I ever get tripped up is that the only time I ever get tripped up is if I'm in someone else's point of view. So take a look at this, like ask, is this point of view relevant to me? And anytime anything comes up, just ask, from the space of energy, space, and consciousness, is this mine? And then drop your barriers and your defense systems and allow that energy to fall away from your life. And this knowing that I'm an energetic being, and I function, different, not less, because I always thought I was less than, has just been something I've been gifted my life again. That's the only way that I can explain it.
And gifted that for other people. When I was listening to you tell me that story on Monday about standing in the church, and I was like, wow, how many people do not have to experience that, like 40, 30 years of pain and misunderstanding and being completely confused now, and how many people that you'll be able to touch. What an amazing gift. How amazing is that?
Totally. And X-Men are brilliant. They have amazing abilities. One of the things that we have a capacity to do, have, create, and generate anything. And when we start to recognize, and this is one of the things that you've got to be willing to acknowledge, how you generate. For me, you saw me the other day, we were doing figures for my class, and you were working out spreadsheets that were really complicated. And I was like, hey, this is how I see it. Done.
3 seconds later, that's what it is.
Yeah. And so a lot of the times, just to access these abilities and capacities, we require to get the judgments out of place, because we're actually like children, and we have this level of joy. For me, the amount of people that would have judged me, I am so enthusiastic about my job and what I can be for the world, and what is and what can be. All of us, of necessity, by who we are, we will determine what is in this world and what can be on this world by our choices. And for me, there's not one person that has ever come to my class that has been more fucked up than what they think they are. Ever, 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 ever. And ever. And we communicate in a different way. And what an absolute honor to be able to deliver the work of Access Consciousness into the world.
And share that, that communicating in a different way. I'd done it for so many years and didn't recognize it. And now I'm consciously able to communicate in a kinder, gentler way, sometimes without words, but being aware of what's going on. And that has completely come from you unlocking those capacities in me. And the one thing I wanted to mention, because this was so huge for me, you mentioned that Gary Douglas had done this, and then Julie Tootin actually mentioned Gary Douglas had done it. And I see you do this with people, that you have the kindness and the choice to actually let people, it's frustrating sometimes, because I'm like, just tell me, and you won't, or you will say something that doesn't feel kind at the time, or doesn't feel like it's what you want to hear, but it is unlocking something in a capacity. For me, I'd like walk out the office and I get halfway to the house and be like, no, I got to go back. And I'll come back and I say, just tell me what it is. But you wouldn't tell me. You absolutely have this capacity for people's biggest demons, I could call them, to come forth so that they can lift and change. And you do it with no point of view. There's something you do, don't know what the magic is, but you've got this little wand and you just unlock something in people, and then you step back and let them find what the energy is, find what a different possibility is, so that, and then it's there, you never take that away. And I know sometimes I could see you like sitting there, I just want to say it, but you just let it unfold. And what capacity is that going to give to people that you're facilitating, when they know that you're an allowance of them to find that out when they're ready, when they choose it,
because information
in the way they choose it,
like information given, that's not asked for, rots and putrefies in the mind. That's not ready to receive the awareness of it. This is from a line in the place I'm paraphrasing. Please don't give information to people when they're not ready to hear it. They will get it when they get it, as I got it when I got it. And a lot of the times we think kindness is giving you my opinion. Actually, kindness is giving you what you can receive. And
Yeah.
this is huge in our world. So I really wonder, with the tools of access consciousness, with the body work, with how different we function in relationship, with how different, you know, when people say things and they're not congruent with what they're thinking, we pick that up straight away and we get frustrated.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me. And another big one for me was I used to get frustrated when people lie. And then Gary Douglas used to say, people don't actually know when they're lying. And I'd be like, oh my God, that's so true. You know, so like these these tiny bits of information that allowed me to have way more ease of being in the world. And then I guess one of the things for me is having access to bars, and the body work is just, and the energy pulls. There's a new world after opening up, folks. It's a different possibility. And we invite you to care for you, to nurture you. And what if today the biggest, strongest, courageous choice you can make is to not judge you and to be an allowance of you?
And your favorite saying is, what will it take for me to be the greatness? See the brilliance of me, see the greatness of me. That was, I still have that on my phone from that first energy poll 2 years ago. Really.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you're on here, I'm doing 30 days of energy pulls, Xmen creating the future that only you know is possible. My energy pulls are basically like a setup for your day. So you come on.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, they are. They are, because they allow you to communicate energetically, and you, the being, have a presence with the molecules that allows you to make them greater by your very presence. And then what we do is we go through 4 books. So we're doing a book a week. So we'll read like 25 minutes. How to Become Money Workbook, which has changed, by the way. Chapter 1 and 2 has changed in that book. Thank you, Gary Douglas. He said, go read the books again because they've changed. Joy Business, Divorce This Relationship, and Magic Be It. So if you're looking to turbo boost, it's €7 a day. Like seriously, for 30
like a cup of coffee, like 2 coffees.
Yeah, 2 cups of coffee. You
Like
wake up
maybe.
every morning. You step into consciousness. In other words, you invoke consciousness in your life. You let your mind and all the barriers of the mind fall away. You bring in that consciousness. You do your energy flows. Your life is created on the energy that you be in every moment. You completely commit to your reality by the choice to allow that energy of consciousness in first thing in the morning. And then we do a bit of reading, and people's realities just go.
Absolutely. Well, and it's about what do you call it? Go from a wish list to a create list. It's actually that 2 years ago. So what are we now? 2018, first time that I had a class with you. Oh, I can't believe it's only 2 years. And I started with an energy pull, and I made a list, and I can't actually believe it that it's happened. It's all happened. A new house.
No, it didn't happen.
I created it.
And this is one of the things that we refuse the most. If you get this from this live, it'll gift you so much. Your being generates this with the energy, space, consciousness, choice, engagement with the quantum entanglements that you be. The power is not outside of you. That's the greatest lie that we've been given. You are that potency. You've just been brainwashed through feelings, emotions, thoughts, and beliefs that you can not be the power that you be. You are this power. You have this natural ability and capacity. It's probably been kicked out of you. Is now the time. For me, it was kicked out of me. I used to cry all the time, be upset all the time. I was a mess. Anyone who knows me, they know, my children know this. I was an absolute mess. Tired all the time, crying all the time. I was a mess before I started Access Consciousness. I'm only telling what's true for me. And these energy pulls allow you to know that your reality is knowing, receiving, perceiving, being. And you can generate anything when you have the information that allows you to get the whole picture on how you function, and the information that allows you to function in the reality that you know is possible.
And be willing to ask for it. That's really what you showed me, is absolutely be willing to ask for it.
Yeah. And let's finish on this. these energy pulls are not about creating a solution from a problem, because then you're just getting something better than the problem. No, that's not what they're about. They're about the land of what else is possible.
It's magic, isn't it? Absolute magic and miracles.
Magic, miracles, possibilities. The land of what else is possible is, last Thursday I found out that I had to be out at the lady who I was renting an apartment was coming back on Monday. I got a new place to live within 4 days. I have a brand new home to live in. I asked for a dog. I asked for a cat. One of my asks, listen to this. One of my asks, okay? One of my asks was, I don't like electric hobs. Can I have a gas hob? Because I loved the gas hob we have. And there's a gas hob in my new place. Ask, are you asking?
Such a mutant.
No, such a, are you asking? Ask.
And for people that know you, and I can do the shameless plug here because you won't, but we have our first Xmen class on the 13th of September. So if you want to join us, we will have it online.
Gisha is coming. There's a friend of mine
Yay,
in Denmark.
yay.
I know her like 5 or 6 years. We've known each other a long time now. And she was like, let me know about this Xmen class. So come join us.
Brilliant. It's going to be live. It's going to be online. We'll be in the Netherlands. Rach will be in the Netherlands. I may be in the Netherlands. I might be online. But we will absolutely, wow. I'm so excited for that class. What can we change that and create that day?
Yeah, and is it now time, folks? Come on. We invite you to give up making you wrong. And what is and what would be on this planet would be as a result of the choices we make. Are you willing to turn what you've decided is a curse, which is your sensitivity and your awareness? What if you were willing to have the joy of your awareness and the joy of your ability to sense energies? Don't call it sensitivity anymore, your ability to sense energies. And what if you actually used that to your advantage? What if that's what my business is generated on, my ability to sense energies and to address those energies in the world so we can become greater.
And that's what our energy pulse are going to be. That's going to be part of the focus, isn't it? It's going to absolutely be around accessing the, unlocking the Xmen in you with the books, with the energy every day. And then it's just going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited. It starts on
Friday. 2 days from today.
2 days time. Get on. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Anyone that's done an energy pull before will know how dynamic Rach makes these. Going to be us, going to be creation, going to be magic. It's going to be brilliant. So thank you, Rachel. We've done our announcement. I am so grateful for you. I'm absolutely beyond words. You have unlocked things in me that I absolutely never even thought were even on my radar, to be honest. So thank you. And
so welcome. Gary Douglas said something to me. He said, Rachel, when are you going to get that you open the doors for people to come with you to create their future and create a different future for our world?
Absolutely.
And I would look at him and I'd be like, me. And he'd be like, yeah, you open the door for people to generate a future with you that the planet is asking for, and also generate their future.
Absolutely.
So how beautiful. What a gift to be able to work with. And thanks to everyone who private messaged me. I'd like hundreds of private messages. Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Thanks for being my friend.
It is more than a pleasure. Privilege and pleasure. I'm so grateful.
I'm going to say one more thing. I always do this. I genuinely hope Gary Douglas wrote on my 10 keys to freedom 3 years ago, you deserve the friend. And at the time I didn't have written him the 10 keys to freedom. You deserve the friend. I have my book. And I looked at him and he went, that person will come. And at that time I didn't have someone in my life who truly had my back and was willing to contribute to me being the greatness that I am. And you have been a living part of my life for the last 6 months.
Wow, it's been what a journey. Amazing.
Yeah. How does it get any better than this? And I hope that you guys out there ask, what would it take for me to have a friend that creates more with me in my life, that contributes to the greatness of me, and that is willing to receive that nurturing, caring, sexualness, caring energy. Yeah.
And creating more together every day, aren't we? It's just expanding. Every day is something more greater than yesterday.
Cool. And what would I say to someone who's done the energy pulls and doesn't feel anything? You cannot feel what you are. You can only feel what you're not. Okay. Energy is like a wisp of cotton. It's that subtle, it's that gentle. And what is it that you know beyond all of the programming that you've been trained to believe is real and true?
And can I add something there, Rach? Because it's a muscle you build. It's not, remember when I first met you, I was like, oh, I don't really feel energy. I don't feel energy. Oh my word, it's only when I realized and actually got to, yes, I can, that I actually could, because it's so, like you say, it's just blocked out of us because it's just not even an option. As you're doing this, as you're moving through it, the energy pulls just open that up, because every day it's where you put your attention, it's where you put your priority.
And also, and also, thanks so much for this. I know we're going on a bit today, but sometimes information is required, you know. My daughter said to me, "How did your accountant get your business? You have an energetic business. People don't get energy."
Yeah.
Well, folks, everything is energy in our world. If you know, you talk to any physicist, it's energy. Everything is energetics. The wall is 98% energy, and the molecules have just slowed down. So take a look at everything is energy, and please allow yourself to know that all receiving is 100% energetic.
Yeah.
And what if you actually stepped into what you know, what you can be, what you can receive, and what you can perceive? We invite you.
Absolutely. We'll see you online somewhere in the world, hopefully in person. Love you lots, my friend. I'm so grateful.
And my darling.
And best congratulations ever. I'm so excited.
Yeah. How does it get any better?
Watch out, world. Here she comes. Okay, I'll see you soon, Rach. See you now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.